wizard, what do you see as you twist your tails beneath our feet? What do you see?
After 2,000 years of countless wars and strife, the demon king Anos Voldigid made a deal with a human hero, Kanan, to sacrifice his own life to ensure peace could flourish. Reincarnating 2,000 years later, Anos finds that royal demons now harshly rule over lower-class hybrid demons in a society that values Anos' pureblood descendants over the demons who interbred with other species, such as humans and spirits. Finding that magic as a whole has begun to decline, and his descendants weaker as a result of the peace he created, Anos, now technically a hybrid himself, decides to reclaim his former title of Demon King. But first, he must graduate from the Demon King Academy, where he is labeled a total misfit. 15-year-old Tui Amachizuki is accidentally killed by God. As an apology, God allows him to be resurrected, but since he cannot send him back to his old world, he instead reincarnates him into a fantasy world along with a single special request. God also greatly amplifies Tui's physical, magical, and cognitive abilities to a certain degree as a further apology for the inconvenience of killing him. Taking full advantage of his second chance at life, Tuia befriends many different people, mainly women and higher-ranking people in the New World. He begins to travel from country to country, solving political disputes, minor quests, and nonchalantly enjoying himself with his newfound allies. Helsing is named after and centered around the Royal Order of Protestant Knights originally led by Abraham van Helsing. The mission of Helsing is to search for and destroy the undead and other supernatural forces of evil that threaten the Queen and the country. This organization is currently led by Sir Integra Fairbrook Wingates Helsing, who inherited the leadership of Helsing as a child after the death of her father. She witnessed his death, which turned her from a once innocent and shy little girl to a tough and deadly force. She is protected by the faithful Helsing family butler Walter C. Dornes, a deadly foe in his own right, and Alucard, the original and most powerful vampire, who swore loyalty to the Helsing family after being defeated by Van Helsing 100 years before the story takes place. These formidable guardians are joined early on in the storyline by former police officer Saraz Victoria, whom Alucard turned into a vampire. Kusuo Saiki is a 16-year-old high school student. He was born with many powers, including telepathy and telekinesis. This may sound cool, but, according to Kusuo's experience, superpowers are not as good as we imagine. He tries to live a normal life, despite having a power that upsets him. Kusuo Saiki now tries to keep a distance from others, to hide his psychic abilities, but his classmates with distinct individuality gather under Kusuo. The story is centered around the incredibly cool and popular Sakamoto, a flawless boy genius who is well liked by every student and the school faculty in the high school. Despite the strange situations he may be in, normally consisting of pranks set up by the envious male population of the school, Sakamoto always manages to emerge in absolute perfection, and as a result makes himself seem even cooler. Many of his actions end in a big laugh for the reader. Sora and Shiro are two hikikomori step-siblings who are known in the online gaming world as Blank, an undefeated group of gamers. One day, they are challenged to a game of chess by Tet, a god from another reality. The two are victorious and are offered to live in a world that centers around games. They accept, believing it to be a joke, and are summoned to a reality known as Disboard. There, a spell known as the 10 Pledges prevents the citizens of Disboard from inflicting harm on one another, forcing them to resolve their differences by gambling with games whose rules and rewards are magically enforced. In-game, rule enforcement only occurs when the method of cheating is acknowledged and outed by the opponent, allowing players to cheat through discrete methods. Sora and Shiro traverse to Elkia, the nation inhabited by humans, and befriend the Duchess Stephanie Dola. Learning about Elkia's decline, the two participate in a tournament to determine the next ruler. After winning the crown, they earn the right to challenge the Disboard's other species as humanity's representative. Shigeo Kageyama is an average middle school boy, nicknamed Mob for lacking a sense of presence. Although he looks like an inconspicuous person, he is in fact a powerful Esper with immense psychic power. To keep from losing control of this power, he constantly lives a life under an emotional shackle. In order to help learn how to control his abilities, Mob works as an assistant to conman Ryujin Arataka, a self-proclaimed psychic. Mob wants to live a normal life just like those around him, but a barrage of trouble keeps coming after him. With his suppressed emotions growing inside Mob little by little, his power threatens to break through its limits as he eventually encounters other Espers like the Claws. The anime takes place in a future where Earth is ruled by the Spiral King, Lorginum, who forces mankind to live in isolated subterranean villages. These villages have no contact with the surface world or other villages and are under constant threat of earthquakes. Selected villagers called diggers are conscripted to expand their homes deeper underground. Simon, a meek young digger ostracized by his peers in Giha village, finds solace in his best friend, an older brother figure who is an eccentric delinquent named Kamina. Kamina encourages Simon to join his gang, Team Gurren, to help him achieve his dream of visiting the surface world. One day, Simon unearths a drill-shaped key called a core drill, followed by a small mecha resembling a face called a gunman. Shortly thereafter, a huge gunman crashes through the ceiling and begins attacking the village, followed by a girl named Yoko, who attempts to repel the gunman. Simon uses his core drill to activate the smaller gunman and its drilling-based abilities. He successfully uses it to destroy the larger gunman and break through the ceiling to bring him and Kamina to the surface world. Momonga has been trapped in the form of his game avatar, leaving him unable to use the normal player functions such as general message or even to log out. With no other option, Momonga sets out to learn if anyone from the real world is also in this new world with him. Taking on the name of the guild, Ainzul Gown, as a message to any other remaining players, Momonga begins exploring the world in an attempt to figure out what has happened, while searching for anyone or anything that could help him solve this mystery, while ensuring the safety of Nazarick. Ainzul Gown seems to have modifications made to his behavior by in-game mechanics, because he demonstrates no moral qualms with killing and other actions that are taboo in the real world. This is a story about the psychology of a creature beyond ethical concerns with near-limitless power. On a supercontinent Earth, powerful monsters and villains have been wreaking havoc in the cities. In response, the millionaire Goni creates the Hero Association, which employs superheroes to fight evil. Saitama, an unassociated hero, hails from City Z and performs heroic deeds as a hobby. He has trained himself to the point of being able to defeat any enemy with a single punch, but his unmatched strength has left him with an overwhelming sense of boredom. Saitama eventually becomes a reluctant mentor to Genos, a cyborg seeking revenge against another cyborg who killed his family and destroyed his hometown. Saitama and Genos join the Hero Association, but due to scoring low on the written entry exam, Saitama is placed at a low entry rank, and his feats remain unnoticed and unappreciated by the public.